My name is Abigail, and I'm going to be doing my assessment on my mother. Do you know what season it is?
Autumn.
Do you know what year were you born?
1955.
And do you know where you are?
In my home, in your bedroom.
My bedroom. All right. And have you noticed any changes in your hair, skin, or nails?
Nope.
Have you had any abnormal shortness of breath when you're doing your activities of daily living?
Nope.
All right. And when was your last bowel movement?
This morning.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. I'm going to test cranial nerves, so I'm going to start with optic. Can you read my badge?
Abigail Testa.
All right, and then we're going to do 3, 4, and 6, oculomotor, trochlear, and abducens. So I'm going to test for Perla, 6 cardinal gazes, and accommodations. So we're going to start with, we'll start with the 6 cardinal gazes. I'm going to have you follow this, and I'm looking for parallel tracking and to make sure that you can follow everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Perla. Pupils equal, round, reactive to light, and they accommodate. Blue eyes. Keep your eyes open. Good. And then testing for accommodation. Alright. Then we're going to do 5, which is trigeminal. And with this one, I always forget what this one is. Trigeminal, I'm going to have you clench your jaw, and I'm going to feel back here for that clenching, the muscle of mastication. Go ahead. Good. And then I'm going to do 7, which is facial. I'm going to have you raise your eyebrows, puff your cheeks. Yeah, good job. 8 is vestibulocochlear. Can you hear me?
I can.
Good. We're going to do 9 and 10, guttural sound, soft palate, and uvula should rise. Open your mouth and say ah.
Ah.
Can you do one more?
Ah.
Good. Soft palate and uvula rose. So that was 9 and 10, glossopharyngeal and vagus. And now I'm going to do 11, which is the accessory spinal. I'm going to have her shrug her shoulders, and I'm going to try and push them down. Go ahead. All right, go next. 5 out of 5 for muscle strength. And then next I'm going to do 12. That was 11. 12, which is hypoglossal. So I'm going to have her put her tongue side to side. Good. Cranial nerves are grossly intact. Next, I'm going to do a cardiovascular assessment. I'm going to start by just inspecting for jugular pulsations or venous distension. It's dark, so I'm going to use this to put it down. Pulsations, but no distension on both sides. And now I'm going to auscultate her carotid artery. Good. Good. And now I'm going to, that was palpating. Now I'm going to auscultate. Can you hold your breath? Good. All right. And now I'm going to do her pulses. So normal is 2+ for all of them. We'll see if she has that. So we're going to start with your brachial pulses. And then radial. Good, equal in both. And just doing capillary refill and assessing temperature of the upper extremities. Capillary refill is less than 3 seconds, and the temperature is even on both sides, although her hands are cold. And then we're going to do same thing with the lower extremities. Yeah, so just assessing for even warmth. Noting for any edema or abnormal redness, and then I'm going to assess capillary refill on her feet, and then feel for the posterior tibial and dorsalis pedalis pulses. Good, 2+ for both of those, capillary refill less than 3 seconds. And now I'm going to auscultate her heart sounds. So I'm going to start with her right sternal border, second intercostal space. This is the aortic, and I'm going to be using the bell and the diaphragm. And then left sternal border, second intercostal space. This is pulmonic. third intercostal space, this is Erb's point, where I should be hearing S1 and S2. And then fourth intercostal space, this is tricuspid. And then mitral, fifth intercostal space. Good. All right, and now I'm going to auscultate her breath sounds, 6 on the front, 8 on the back. Can you stand up? Just so you can see. Face me. Deep breath. Continue taking deep breaths. So, good. All right, and I'm going to do 8 on the back. Just turn around. And deep breaths. All right, good. No adventitious sounds noted. So right here you have those, let's see, right here is, I wrote a note because I always forget this. So these are bronchial sounds. These are bronchial right here, bronchovesicular along the sternal border, and then vesicular sounds should be heard in the majority of the periphery and in the back, which is what I noted. No adventitious sounds, although there were some crackles in the lower lobes, and I did hear those when I did my last assessment on her, and thought maybe it was just due to, well, she does use Juul, so that could potentially, and she was a former smoker, no longer, but so it could be that, or it could be that she's wearing a shirt, or it could be that I'm not super great at my auscultating technique. It could be any of these things. Now I'm going to do her GI assessment. So I'm going to auscultate bowel sounds in all 4 quadrants, and then palpate lightly and then deeply in all 4 quadrants. Alright. You know what, could you actually stand? When did you eat last?
2 hours ago?
Alright. A lot of bowel sounds down here. Everywhere else, normal, active, not a ton of bowel sounds. Can you stand up actually? Alright, palpating lightly and then deeply. Any tenderness when I was doing that? Okay. Alright, so that's good for her. You can sit down. For her GI assessment, and now we're going to go on to her musculoskeletal assessment. So this is push-pull of the upper and the lower, and then doing the hand grips assessment. So I'm going to have you put your arms out like this, and you are going to resist, but not yet.
Okay.
There you go. So I'm going to push, and you're going to resist. And I'm going to pull, and you're going to resist. And you're going to grip my fingers and squeeze progressively harder. Good. And I'm going to do push-pull the lower extremity. I'm going to pull and you're going to resist. I'm going to push and you're going to resist. Good. Did all of those. All right. I just want to make sure that the face is symmetric when you're smiling. Good. All right. That is all.